Hey everyone, so this is probably one of the cheapest 10-inch tablets you can buy. This one is actually 10.1 inch. This is the Onn Surf 10.1, the newest version you can buy, the Gen 3 version. This is a Walmart brand tablet, and it is actually better than I thought it was going to be. So it is $100 here in the US from Walmart. For the $100, you get a 10.1 inch LCD touchscreen. It's not the best, but it's not horrible. You can actually view it from different angles, and it actually looks basically the same. So if you looking at it from like over here or from there, it doesn't actually get that weird, horrible look to it like some cheap tablets get. You get a 2 GHz quad-core processor with 2 GB of RAM. It does not say what the processor actually is, but it is 2 GHz quad-core processor, and it works all right. Actually, it's up to 17 hours of battery life, which is very, very high. A lot of tablets only have between like 10 to 12 or so. So that's very good. It gives you 32 GB of storage, which is basically standard these days for these budget tablets. And you can expand it with a micro SD card if you want. And then, of course, you get a front-facing camera as well as a back camera. It is running Android 11 Go Edition. It has a 800 by 1280 resolution IPS touchscreen. So again, it's not the best on that. And then it actually does have USB Type-C. So we'll take a quick look around it here. You guys can see here, the top gives you a volume rocker, power button, mic, micro SD card slot expansion. If I can get it open there we go. So that is really cool. And USB Type-C to charge it on up. We actually get dual speakers, which are probably the worst part of this tablet. Yes, they are dual speakers, but they are not good. They just don't sound good, and they do not get loud at all. Nothing on the bottom there, and then nothing besides a mic on the side. On the back, we have the Onn logo, as well as a camera. The back I like, but do not like at the same time. It is kind of textured, which is cool. It kind of feels like you're not going to drop this thing too easy. But in a way, it also kind of it feels a little bit cheaper than some other tablets. It is all plastic, of course, and it kind of caves outward a little bit. Hard to see through the camera, but when you're holding onto it, it kind of caves outward, which again, kind of helps with your grip, though. I like it for the most part. It just feels a little bit cheap, which for a $100 device is gonna happen. Then up front here, we do have a front-facing camera. Then we do have a 10.1 inch screen. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this through the video, but there is a screen gap there, which I know bothers some people and doesn't bother others. So let's talk about what I think is good about this tablet. One is, of course, the price. $100 is crazy cheap. I mean, next cheapest tablet I can think that is at most stores is going to be like the Amazon Fire HD 10, which is also 10 inches, 10.1 inches. That has a better screen to it, and overall it's probably a little bit of a better tablet, but that is $150 or 180 if you get the better version of that tablet. Again, I think that is a better tablet, but you are paying at least 1.5 times the price of this. Two is the screen. I said it does have the screen gap in it if you look at it at certain angles, but overall I think it is a decent screen. I don't think this is going to hurt your eyes or anything like that. The colors are actually pretty decent. So here I am on Pokemon's website. The whites are actually nice and white. The blacks are actually nice and black. This is actually, I would say, is better than some other tablets, budget tablets. It's pretty good. Like, the colors are actually nice and, well, colorful. I mean, it's a decent screen for $100. I couldn't ask for much more for a $100 device. The speed of it is okay. It's not going to be, of course, the quickest thing. When I first got this, it was going ridiculously slow. That was a couple of days ago. Now it is running a lot better. I think it had an update and is now doing better. You can see on Pokemon.com here, we have this little animation, and it loads it in just fine. Even with only 2 GB of RAM and 2 GHz processor, it does just fine. So we are on. So again, we're on Pokemon.com. This is a pretty easy website for tablets to load in, and I like how big these pictures get, and it looks decent. I can't zoom in on Pokemon's website, but it all actually looks pretty good. It's nice and easily read. It is legible. It's not the highest quality of pictures. I will say that because again, screen resolution just isn't really that great. But you can easily read it. It is a little bit, I guess, pixelated, but it is easy to read. It's easy enough to read. So where you will come into issues with the power from this is going on to heavier websites. So we'll go into Best Buy's website here, and this is going to take a bit longer to load in than other budget tablets are. Yeah, it's not going to be the worst thing ever. There are definitely worse tablets out there, especially ones that are cheaper and are pointed towards kids. But you guys can see this is going to take a little bit to load in. There's a bunch of pictures that load in. When we come down here, there's all this other stuff that's supposed to be loading in here. So certain websites is going to trip this tablet up a bit. Just have to have some patience with this, and you'll be fine. So we're still waiting for everything to load in here. So then we can click on the picture. And so the processing power on here is, I would say, is okay. It's subpar, but it is okay for a $100 tablet. Definitely have seen worse than what this does. So another aspect that is okay on this device, I wouldn't say it's bad, I wouldn't say it's good, is going to be gaming, at least on Roblox here. We're going into Fireworks Simulator. Again, it does an okay job. You'll get some slowdowns every now and then. I have this just in the lowest graphics setting, which I'll show you guys in a moment here. And it does games on Roblox, for the most part, just fine. Certain games you're not going to be able to play, like Royal High, unless you do not mind a bunch of slowdowns, which I prefer not to have. But again, the biggest thing you have to remember is this is only a $100 10-inch device, which is pretty good. I mean, that's a really good price. So we can teleport here. Play this game a decent amount. These are like my favorite types of games on Roblox, these simulator games. I just bought myself this giant hammer. I mean, so again, we are in the lowest graphics. Yeah, see here, manual, lowest graphics. It works. This is how most games will play in Roblox. Not every game. Again, some games will not play very well at all. Other games will probably play a bit better. You do get some slowdowns every now and then. But like the colors on here are nice and colorful. And they make, like my cats behind me here, nice and green. The purple is nice and purple and glowing. You can zoom out if you want. You can zoom in if you want. And you can do pretty much anything you want to do, and it will play just fine. Again, this is in lowest graphics, and it works. Let's talk about what is not going to be so good on this device. Being only 2 gigabytes of RAM, you're not going to be able to keep too many apps open at once, especially if you have a gaming app open and some other apps open. You're just not going to be able to switch between them without them reloading each time on you. That is the downfall of only having 2 gigabytes of RAM. So you have to keep that in mind. Another thing that I find annoying with this device is the touch sensitivity on it is not always the best. So you have to, and of course it won't do it while I'm trying to do this, actually did it right there. So you have to kind of hit it a bit harder than you normally would to register everything. As it doesn't always just register if you're nicely typing on it. I found this quite a bit when I'm trying to search up stuff. I would type in something, and go, and it will be missing like a letter or two in my search, or in my search, which is very annoying. So especially if you are, just typing in a whole bunch of stuff at one time, it will just, it's like you're on Google, let's just say, and you go into search for something, it misses a lot of your letters unless you're actually hitting it harder than you would think to have to hit it. That's probably my number one complaint about this device. Then, like I mentioned earlier, the speakers on here are not good. You have two of them up top. We have this facing the correct way. We have two of them up top here, similar to like the Amazon Fire 10s and 10 Plus. But so this is some royalty-free music here on YouTube. So you can see right here, my volume is up all the way. It really just does not sound too great, and it is really quiet. I mean, it'd probably be livable, but if you have anywhere that's even remotely loud, anything remotely loud going on around you, you're not going to be able to hear this too well. And it just doesn't sound very good. Then another thing that is not the greatest, I mean, all tablets are fingerprint magnets, but the fingerprints stick out really, really badly on it. I don't know if you guys can see it through the video, but there's fingerprints just all over it. I've wiped it off a couple of times throughout this video. And you can see on the side here even, it's just the fingerprints show up so much on this tablet. It usually does not bother me, but on this it does bother me a bit because you can really see them, and they're just everywhere. Again, every tablet are fingerprint magnets, but you can really see them on this more than other tablets. Yeah. You guys can let me know what you think of this thing. I think for $100, it's okay. There are other tablets I would save up money for over this that will last longer too. Again, 2 gigabytes of RAM and the processor that's in here is just not going to last you a very long time. I'd say maybe a year or two you'll be able to get out of this thing. It also depends on what you're going to do with it, of course. But I think if you save up another $50-$80, the Amazon Fire HD 10 or the HD 10 Plus, even better, it's going to last you longer, just be better overall, or save up about double the price, a little bit over double the price, and get yourself a Samsung Tab A8. But that's just my opinion. I mean, this thing is fine for what it is for $100. It just is not going to be the best. But if you have realistic expectations from it, you'll probably be okay. You'll probably be happy with it. Again, you guys let me know what you think. As always, I really do appreciate you watching. Hope you guys have a good one. See y'all next time. Goodbye.